talk a little bit about, if you will, I'm going to get to Noah, the ark, the flood, but let's just go back to Adam.
Okay.
Because you start with the genealogy. And when I was reading through that and just understanding how long Adam lived and that he would know his great grandchildren because he lived to be over 900 years old.
930.
Wow.
And so talk a little bit about why the genealogy is important and then talk about the names and what they meant. Because we're going to go specifically to that scripture that says the sons of God basically mated with the daughters of men. And we're going to unpack that, what was going on in the world at that time and what happened. But just go through the genealogy and then go, I guess, to Jared is where you start.
Okay. Well, when Adam and Eve exited from the garden, you can imagine they were in a fallen state.
Right.
And so we know from extra-biblical writings, which are not biblical, but they are very serious ancient commentary, that God sent watchers, and these watchers were angels over the earth
Is
to
that kind of
watch
like
on
what we
man.
have now? Guardian angels? Yeah. Okay.
I don't know why anybody would argue with us. We all believe in guardian angels.
Yes.
So God, in his love, just like you can imagine God would do, gave the assignment to these angels to watch over man in their fallen state. But by the time that you come to Jared, Jared's name means shall come down. And during his lifetime, something absolutely unthinkable began to happen. The angels that had been given guardianship over the earth saw the daughters of men that they were fair. That's Genesis chapter 6,
Meaning
verse 2.
beautiful.
Being beautiful, and took them to mate with. And they knew they were violating the command of God.
So they had free
knew that.
will?
They had free will. Angels have free will. You know, I was always raised to believe angels don't have free will, but Lucifer certainly had free will.
True.
Well, were
Yes,
they fallen
and
angels
those
then
that
at
went
that
with
point?
them.
They became fallen angels at that point. And when you read the book of Enoch, which is not scripture, but it really is ancient commentary, it says that 200 of them came together. We even know the name of the leading angel. And they swore an
What was
oath
his name?
together. I think it was Sinjaz. I got to look in my book to know.
Yeah.
But they swore an oath together, and they said, we will do this dastardly deed. And they even knew they would be punished for it.
Where did they make a covenant at together, the 200 angels?
Where did they make the covenant? Well, we know where they descended. They descended on Mount Hermon in Israel.
Wow.
That's where it all started.
Okay.
But this is the root of all mythology. For example, if you look at Greek mythology, they have Mount Olympus, they have the pantheon of the gods, but it really happened at Mount Hermon in Israel when these celestial beings came down into the earth. And you can imagine, it would have looked like the gods had come down out of the heavens.
So these fallen angels would have been probably beautiful but very big beings.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And so if mankind were to see them descending into this atmosphere to be seen,
Right.
it would have had a tremendous effect.
They would have been enamored by it.
Right.
They probably would have worshiped it.
Yeah.
And in fact, in Genesis chapter 6, it says, all of humankind became corrupted, which means basically the entire human race at that time availed themselves to these angels that descended into the earth's atmosphere. And the angels began to sleep with women.
So a lot of people have always thought that angels could not actually have sex or
That's
whatever.
what I thought.
Right.
Because
So-
you think of them kind
So
of.
talk a little bit about that.
Well, I know that raises a lot of theological questions, but you know, in the scripture, there's no such thing as a female angel. Nowhere, from the beginning to the end. They're all male. And in this book, I do talk about the fact that Jesus said that the angels of God do not give in marriage, but Jesus said in heaven. He didn't say what they could do or couldn't do. He just said they don't do it in heaven. But according to the scripture, these angels really did the unthinkable.
Well, why
I
did
don't know
Lucifer fall? I mean, the same thing.
Rebellion.
Yeah, rebellion. But God isn't going to make beings or create angels or human beings that are like robots.
Right.
Like, we have to have a free will, and we choose to love him. He loved us from the very beginning, but he gives us a free will. And so these angels had a free will. Now, they mated with human daughters of men.
Right.
And they got pregnant.
They did.
And they produced what?
Hybrid creatures. They were half angel, half human.
And so,
and again, this is in all mythology. They're called demigods in ancient mythology. They're half human, half god beings.
so like Hercules and
all of that has
some
its roots in
supernatural
reality.
powers.
Yeah. So when they were born, they were, first of all, they were called Nephilim. And the word Nephilim is from the Hebrew word nephal, which means to fall. So they were fallen beings, they were aberrations. And the word Nephilim also describes what they did. They fell on people. It also describes the response of people to them. People collapsed in their presence. Remember when the children of Israel saw the giants, they said, we were but as grasshoppers in their sight. People just collapsed when they saw them because they were so enormous.
so continue with Jared. So Jared means
Jared means shall come down.
shall come down. So it was during his time frame that these beings dropped out of the second
they
heaven.
began to come
And it
down.
wasn't all the angels.
No, it seems like it was just 200 according to the book of Enoch.
Right.
But Jared had a son whose name was Enoch. And Enoch's name means to correct or to teach. And it seems that during Enoch's time, he tried to bring a correction or a teaching to stop all this nefarious activity. But we know the story of Enoch. He was the first rapture in the Bible. And at the age of 365, God took him. But he had had another son, and Enoch's son's name was Methuselah.
So Enoch, the Bible talks about, went on a walk with God.
Right.
And he was talking with him and walking with him and talking, and then he was no more.
Yeah.
So he did not die a physical death.
He is still alive in heaven to this day, which makes him the oldest person in human history.
Right. And a lot of people believe, and we're not going to get into Revelation, that he will be one of the two witnesses that will die.
Some people do believe
Some
that.
people believe that. That's another whole show. Okay, so then Methuselah was born, which we know was the oldest human being ever to live on this earth. He
And
lived
to die, yeah.
and to die, 969 years. So tell a little bit about what was God doing from Jared to Methuselah, and then you have to also understand that Adam would have had influence on possibly Jared, right?
He knew all of these people. All of these people could have gone to interview Adam because Adam lived 930
And he
years.
could have told the story, like,
Yeah, of course.
of what happened.
But you know what? It was during Enoch's time that Enoch wrote what we believe are the first 36 chapters of the book of Enoch. Now, the rest of it was probably written later, but those first 36 chapters are really, really ancient.
And it's mentioned, the book of Enoch is actually mentioned in the Bible.
Oh, it's
Yes.
quoted by Jude,
And
who was
Peter.
the half-brother of Jesus. So it means the family of Jesus read the book of Enoch.
Well, before you leave, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, we would love to hear how the Lord is moving and touching your heart right now. So be sure to comment below and then share this video with someone you feel needs it just as much as you did.